Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another spectacular episode of the War Infinite Pounds. I'm joined by my lovely co-host Sarah. Yeah, she lives. None of us died. We're all stuck inside due to the never-ending coronavirus pandemic,
Yep.
and things things have been things have been better for some of us. I learned to channel my rage and lack of sleep, and Sarah learned knitting or whatever Sarah does.
Wow. First of all, it's crochet, and first of all, I knew crochet before the pandemic. Don't put words in my mouth, Matt.
Okay, don't hurt me. No.
I'm gonna crochet you a coffin. That's what I'm gonna do.
Crochet. But like while my legs are broken, there we go. This is how you make the perfect pattern to lock you in.
Yep. What did I learn this pandemic? What I learned this pandemic is that eventually you can get used to anything, but you will still be sad about it the entire time.
Yeah, it's like people still jerks post in pre-pandemic. Like I have a personal story, but I'm not gonna get into that. And it's just so creepy going outside and watching some people, use masks, some people don't. I'm like, whatever. But it's creepy just when you try to order food. It feels like I lived in Port Edwards before, and I used to eat at a place that's called Kennedy's or Crown Chicken. And it's like going there, and they have the same setup to protect themselves, like the hood Popeyes. People know what I'm talking about. They protect
Mm.
themselves that they're gonna get shot by somebody gonna rob them, or they can't get robbed. It's like, man, this is reminding me of that same feeling because I used to live in those neighborhoods, but I don't anymore. I live in nicer Brooklyn.
Yeah. No, it's definitely been interesting. It's been a lot of, get the food, put the food on the plate, throw out the stuff, wash your hands, eat the food, wash your hands again.
Wash your hands again, yeah.
There's a lot of hand wash. Like anytime we pick up the mail, we just like leave it for 3 days so that it disinfects on its own. Like I'm actually allergic to bleach. Like if I touch it
Wow.
with my bare skin, like it burns. It will burn me real bad. So, anytime my mom gets groceries, I'm there helping her put stuff away. I have to wear gloves because otherwise I will have a rash for 3 days that will not go away.
Wowie, wowie.
It's been a learning experience for everyone. We hope that if you are out there listening to us now, you're doing all right. You're living your best pandemic life. Maybe you joined TikTok. Maybe you colored your hair. Maybe you are like just living for your library's, borrowing app service. Because if you're on Libby, I am a Libby liberated person because I love me some libs. Um, whatever you're doing out there, we hope you're okay. We are here to bring you, as always, the latest and greatest in comic book and comic book related news.
Whoop, whoop. Yes, and I guess the greatest news we have now is that through years and years of internet protests, we got the Snyder Cut. This is the dream, right?
Apparently, well, I mean, I wouldn't call it protest. I would call it bitching and moaning.
Basically.
But and many denial was made that the Snyder Cut did not exist. But yes, if you don't know what we're talking about, Matt, why don't you explain to them what the Snyder Cut is and why all the people want the Snyder Cut?
All right, so the Snyder Cut is, outside being a huge mistake of life, that's the first thing you should know. It is a move. It was an idea or concept, and I can explain this in film that Zack Snyder had to leave the Justice League movie due to a personal issue, his daughter passing away due to suicide, I believe, which is
Yes.
a very tragic thing. So
Very
DC
tragic.
had to hire Josh Whedon, and they had to scrap together a movie, half of Snyder and half of Whedon's vision put together. People believe that if Schneider envisioned the whole movie a lot better than what we saw in theaters, and that movie is the Schneider Cut, with a lot of people not understanding how films work. See, there's a lot of bad ideas in movie that get leave on the cutting room floor. They do exist, and that's not the cut of the movie you want. See, those are like, I guess was it? Remember that horrible leak of the horrible Deadpool movie? Not the good one, the bad one, the X
Oh,
Men
you mean
movie.
Wolverine?
Yeah, the Wolverine movie. Yeah, and leaked and it looked horrible. You see the CGI and all these glitches and everywhere, right? That's the Snyder
Yep.
Cut. That exists. But people believe that
Yep.
was a full length movie. And people were railing about it because they believe this is the only way to save the DCEU, that Snyder is the true visionary of this thing, even though he bombed Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. I don't know why people
Yep.
have faith in this man, but whatever. I guess crack kills. But anyway, so through, as Sarah pointed out, bitching and moaning, this movie is now available to people to see on HBO Max.
Or it will be.
It will be. Yes, and in my opinion, they got gimped. You are going to be charged to see a potentially inferior quality movie, which will just be, as people forgot back in the day. Remember director cut movies, like director's cut of Indiana Jones, or the cut Star Wars, or the cut etc.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. So what you're going to see is a directed extended cut of the same movie with maybe some minor scene twists. I don't think it would save the movie because
Yeah.
again, I'm looking at the guy's track record, and for DC, Batman v Superman was bad. It was dark and overly gritty. Superman was just abysmal because you turned this beacon of light into the most depressing human being ever. It's like hanging out with your doomer friends. You turned Superman into a doomer. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. So you're telling me this guy, after 2 strikeouts, is getting a home run on the 3rd swing. You got home a little skeptical on it. So get what you want. I'm not gonna see it through other means to see if it's worth it. But I don't think it. I don't like I said. People believe it didn't exist, and people believe it exists. And I'm telling you, it does exist in the same space as the Wolverine leaked movie exists. It wasn't completed. Therefore, when they're going to see it, when you will see it on HBO Max, it will have not the same problems. It'll be completed over, but it will be just a director's cut of the same movie. Because if they give you the Snyder's cut and knock out Josh Whedon's portion of it, Josh Whedon will be upset and he could sue. Remember?
I don't think Joss Whedon's gonna sue anybody. I think Joss Whedon is just happy he got a paycheck and he didn't give too much of a shit and he left.
That too. I mean, he did because of that. He did burn his bridge with DC, and there was a rumor he was going to get a Batgirl movie. But Josh Whedon is also a terrible person. If you have not forgotten, listen to this podcast. So
yeah, Joss Whedon's a terrible person. And he goes, see what it was. I will clarify on the Batgirl thing. I was like, of course. Basically, Joss Whedon loves Batgirl and was going to write a Batgirl movie. And then months later was like, I just can't think of a good story for Batgirl, so I'm going to go off the project. And then like a month later, DC was like, hey, we got a new writer for the Batgirl project. She has no problems making a new story for Batgirl. So just so everyone knows, Batgirl's still a thing. Now, I haven't heard about the Batgirl production in a while.
No.
So it might have fallen. I mean, given the fact that like the Bat movies have not been doing super great. I mean, besides Joker, obviously.
Yeah.
Joker made all the money.
Did.
Those aren't doing super great, so maybe they're holding up to see how the Batman does, the Robert Pattinson one, before they start putting more money into the Bat franchise. They might be focusing more on, and correctly so, Wonder Woman, Shazam, and Aquaman, whose movies actually did well and were enjoyed by humans for the most part.
You gotta hide.
I mean, like, listen. I have a lot of love for Todd Black, who writes for our website. Todd, you're amazing and a wonderful person and a great writer. But I disagree with him so strongly about the DCEU movies. I'm like, the only movies that are worth it in the DCEU
Shazam,
Wonder Woman 1, because I mean, I haven't seen Wonder Woman 2. I can't judge it yet.
Yeah.
And Aquaman is like a pretty distant 3. Like, I don't think Aquaman is that great. It's good. Like, it's like
it's fun.
I would have expected to see this movie in the early 2000s. Like, if it had come out around the same time as, like, Iron Man 1, like, that's the kind of quality I'm talking about. But, like...
Oh, yeah.
But, whatever. Listen, if you like the DCEU, if you were excited for the Snyder Cut, you are more than welcome to shout hallelujah from the rooftops and enjoy it. I'm with Matt in that it's not what you think it's going to be, I don't think. And even if it is...
That explains a lot. That explains worse for DC. So again, I mean, Warner Brothers and DC. That's two and two. And I say you got gimped.
Yeah,
they made you gonna pay a service or try to get a service so you can watch this thing that you've been crying for to get more money out of you. I'm like, that's a that's no.
DC's been shooting itself in the foot a little bit. But you know what? That's okay, DC. But speaking of the Snyder Cut and all the movies we hope to see, unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, we are going to have a massive amount of delays for a lot of movies. Now, a lot of these, both in DC and Marvel, and just like in general, a lot of movies are getting delayed. Sony's delaying a ton of stuff too. Matt, would you like me to tell you all of the movies that have been delayed?
Bring out the list or the lexicon. Yeah, bring out the lexicon.
Bring out your dead.
Yes.
This is what it feels like every time I have to bring these up. All right, so starting with Sony. Yes, Sony is delaying both the third movie, the Sony Spider-Man Marvel Universe, so that's the Tom Holland movies, right? That has been pushed back to November of 2021 thus far. which sucks, but whatever, we do what we can. And then of course, the one movie everyone from Sony was actually looking forward to that's not a Marvel joint is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2, which has now been pushed to 2022,
Yes.
which sucks. But that's okay because these things happen. And we want to make sure that everybody is safe. So 2020 is a bust, basically, you guys, and so everything's getting shifted over. So those things are getting pushed back. Then we also have, on the Marvel side of things, basically everything got pushed on Marvel, right? So Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness got pushed back. The Eternals got pushed back. Trying to think of what a lot of Disney movies got pushed back. I'm thinking specifically of I believe Captain Marvel 2 got a pushback. Well, another one from Fox that is now owned by Disney, New Mutants, got pushed back, which sucks because I really wanted to see New Mutants and have been wanting to see New
Yes,
Mutants
you've been
since
like,
they did
give
the
it to
trailer like
me.
in 2018. Release it just anywhere. I don't even care anymore. Just put it on a streaming. I will pay $20 or whatever it is that I have to pay to watch the damn thing. Give me the goddamn movie. Anyway, I'm okay. I'm an adult and I'm fine. All right, Black Widow has also been pushed back. And then the Eternals, of course, have been pushed back. Then on the DC side, we've got a lot of pushbacks. We got Wonder Woman 1984, or Wonder Woman 2 as some people know it. That's been pushed back. Shazam 2 and the Batman have also been pushed back, mostly because they were in pre-production or currently in production. You just cannot finish. You know what I mean? Like you don't want anyone to actually get sick on your movie, which would be terrible.
True. Also,
I'm trying to think if
something I realized this: if the movie's based in 1984 for Wonder Woman, does that mean is that we're gonna have her pulling like not every age reference? Will she dance? Will Gail Gadot bust out the moves for us? That's actually what I want now. I'm dealing it for a whole year. Learn some 80s dances.
you want her to break dance for you?
I would pay top dollar for that. That movie would be 5 stars if she does it.
I'm sure you would. But I actually do have a weird surprise for you. The only movie that did not get pushed back on the DCEU roster, but in fact got moved up a month, is The Flash.
Wow.
Now, to be fair, Flash was going to come out in 2022 in July, and now it's going to come out in June of 2022. It's not like it got moved up by a lot.
Okay.
But it is interesting to know that, like, when everything else is getting pushed back, this is, like, one of the few movies that got pushed forward. But basically, Phase 4 is fucked for Marvel in terms of timing.
Oh, yeah, the whole thing.
The next wave of DCEU movies is also fucked. The last dying deaths of Fox, Century Fox. Who knows what's going to happen with that? And we're just hoping to see. And Sony, of course, has gotten some major delays. There's nothing we can do about that one. But we will just have to hope that 2021 is going to be like a blockbuster year. Like we are just going to like have all the best movies, and it's going to be like the facelift of film because we are so just happy to be back in a theater. Or it's all going to be Drek, and we're going to be like, why? You had all this time. Why?
Well, the thing is, obviously we know AMC has done some bad PR lately. So I think anyone else want to make a major movie plex that's not AMC, you're going to earn some money this next year and the following year.
Just so you know, so in case you didn't hear the news, basically AMC got mad at and I'm trying to remember who this is.
I think it was Sony.
I believe, or was it Universal? Let's confirm those facts, people. Whenever they're in doubt, confirm the facts. But basically what happened was Trolls 2 World Tour was like, if you didn't hear about this, it is Universal. It's Universal Pictures.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Trolls 2 basically did gangbusters on the home market. If you don't remember, Trolls 2 was going to come out in theaters, but the pandemic hit, and they decided to cut their losses, put it on demand through various cable providers and, Amazon and whoever was going to put it out there for rental and see what happened. And it outdid the first movie. It did massively well, again, because all the children are inside and their parents will do just about anything. They don't have to watch Frozen 2 again.
Oh,
so they rented that, and Universal Pictures was like, this is a strategy we're going to continue to consider for certain releases. circumvent the whole movie theater circuit. We're going to consider it after the pandemic is done. And AMC was not into that idea at all. AMC was offended. AMC clutched its pearls and was like, "How dare you?" Which, to be fair, makes sense for AMC because AMC very much relies on this model of, paying for the movie, having people come to the theater. If they don't if movies go direct to or do a simultaneous release on video on demand, it really cuts into their declining profits. So they were mad about it. And now they're like, we're not going to show any Universal pictures anymore. That's it. We're just not going to show them. So you can suck it. And everyone else is like, what? No, I don't care. So
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
it was it was super weird, and it's a small take from it. It's like, and the worst part of AMC is like, we're not getting any revenue this year. It's like movies, and this is, guys, we all love movies. This is a fact. The movie industry has not been doing well outside of a few explosion of top movies for the last, I'm gonna say, 5 years,
Yeah.
because it is what it is. I personally think that the movie going experience has, in my opinion, gone a little too expensive, to the point that if you want to see a movie, you're probably seeing it once or twice a month, as well as movies have started to try this membership program thing, which is not as some are not as helpful as others.
Yeah.
So and that's just my take of it. But it's like it is what it is. And instead of being super mad at the people who give you the movies doing this, you're like, well, how dare you? We need this money. I'm not reporting a profit. I'm like, a lot of people aren't reporting profit, dude. It's a coronavirus. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Or as oh, I forgot her name. Damn. What's her name? The rapper.
Oh, there's so many. Missy Elliott. You got Queen Latifah.
No, newer than that.
Doing that. SZA.
Cardi B. There we go.
Oh, Cardi
That's
B.
Cardi
Okay.
B. Coronavirus.
Coronavirus. Yeah.
Coronavirus. I'm so sorry I slowed down for that. That's my bad. But anyway, moving right along. We promise it's not all bad news. I know everyone is deeply saddened by life right now, but there are some good things coming up in the world. For example, we will be getting Umbrella Academy Season 2.
Praise you, internet. You have been good to us.
Thank you, internet. So for those of you, and I believe, Matt, you've also seen Umbrella Academy, correct? You've seen the first
I've
season?
seen the first 5 episodes, and then I stopped because of my school and tax season, because Lord knows what sleep, right?
Well, sleep is for the weak. Anyway,
Wow.
if you're not a wimp like Matt and you watched season 1, you would know. Actually, I don't know if I want to spoil it for you. Anyway, there is a reason that there is a season 2.
Well, I read the comics. I have an idea. Tears.
Actually, no, it's different than the comics, so therefore I don't want to spoil it for you.
Oh, tears.
I know. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I will say, if you are a fan of the Umbrella Academy comics, a lot of similar ideas are in. They mashed like the first one and the second one together to make the first season a little bit, and then like there's some stuff at the end. But basically, if you have seen season 1, you know that there's a reason for all 7 of them. Yes, I said 7 of them, Matt, to be united.
Okay, 7.
I know, right? 7. There's all 7 of them. But anyway, not 6, 7.
Yeah.
And so basically everyone was like, "Oh, I wonder if production finished." They said production finished, but can you edit in the coronavirus? Well, it turns out that they could, or they did it before it happened. Who knows? And we will be getting season 2 on July 31st. It gives us something to look forward to in this life, which I have so few of right now. I was gonna go to Japan in October, and I don't think it's gonna happen. It just makes me really sad. I'm not crying. I'm fine. So basically, everyone is coming back. All of your favorites: Ellen Page, Tom Hooper, David Castaneda, Emmy River Lampin, Aidan Gallagher, who's a hoot and a hey. Justin H. Min is coming. Robert Sheenan. All your favorites, they're back. And they announced it in the best way possible, with each of the 7 actors who play the kids dancing or reenacting in their homes the scene where they dance together but apart in their house in season 1.
That beautiful.
Yeah, it's cute, and they all do the dance, and it's adorable, and it makes me so happy, and it's great. So that is coming out. That is something to look forward to in our sad, depressing stay-at-home life.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, this is from like the first 5 episodes I've seen the show. I know nothing of Ellen Page. I can see why people love her, and I'm like, wow, she is She's a star. She's a star.
Is that wait?
Yeah.
You never watched Juno?
That's her. Oh my god, I've seen Juno. I didn't know. Oh my god, I totally
Yeah,
forgot.
that's baby Ellen Page.
Bitch. Oh my god.
Oh my
Grown
god,
up now.
bitch.
That's her as a baby.
Just the burger phone, and everybody wanted that burger phone. That's the only thing I remember is that everybody wanted that goddamn burger phone.
I actually did sort of change it when I was in film class. I actually done my paper on Juno, the effects of space and lighting in that movie and how I explored the themes. Got an A on that paper. Thank you, Ellen Page. You helped me out.
See, you know more about Ellen Page than you think you know. Ellen Page is in a lot of things that you don't realize. Speaking of big name actresses, we have, well, I mean, maybe not at this point, but we had some quite shocking news from the production of CW's Batwoman. Matt, do you want to take that one away for us?
Yeah, the lead actress, she just up and left the show. A lot of some internet trolls are praising themselves if they have mission accomplished. Some fans like myself are confused, but I'm trying to make a piece of the situation.
Yep.
And I'm going to try to piece the situation as this. She could have been frustrated with the position there. The show was maybe not doing that well in ratings, but ratings don't matter as much because all the CW shows have done and proven on replay value on streaming service like Netflix and Hulu have done extremely phenomenal. So that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And my theory is I could be totally wrong. Is that the show was ran not safe or safely for her because they made her do her a stunt where she got injured and that could have made her decision like I can't work in this kind of environment. We should have had a stunt double for me or something like that. So it's it's a very it's a very I would say strange situation. Like how could this have happened? Like I thought the show was doing
Yep.
great.
So here's the thing. So we haven't said her name. Her name is Ruby Rose.
Yeah,
She's a very popular actress. She's a gay icon. I do not actually like Ruby Rose for a number of reasons that are neither here nor there or pertinent to this information. From what we've heard from unnamed sources that have talked to different outlets, it was a little bit potentially the injury that she had to go into surgery for, but more than anything, it was she didn't like the very grueling schedule that comes with being the lead on a TV show because it is an incredibly grueling schedule. She didn't like where the show was being shot, Canada. She couldn't get used to sort of the place there, and in general, it was just a bad fit for everybody. She wasn't happy with the crew. The crew wasn't happy with her. And so more than like an explosive breakup, this is sort of like a mutual agreeing of like, you know what, this is working out for us. Let's sort of end this before like things get toxic and move on. Which I can totally believe. Like being a television star, um, is like a level of commitment and dedication that is incredibly high. It is a lot of work. It's very very little breaks. You're doing the best you can. Like I don't know how the guys in Supernatural do it and had been
they had
doing it
like
for
20 plus
15,
seasons.
15.
15. Oh geez, that's
I mean,
so much.
it's still a lot, right? Like, and it's grueling. So she needed to walk away from that. She definitely, to me, always seemed more like a film person than a TV person. She was on one season and not even for the whole season of Orange is the New Black. Um, and like was just on and off real quick. And I have to think that just TV is just not the medium for her, and that's okay because you know what? Not every actor and or actress is fit for all the mediums. So she is gone. CW has committed to finding someone to fill the role, so the show is not canceled. That was a big worry for people. It's not canceled. We're going to find another LGBTQ actress to take her place. I haven't seen any names floated yet, which, I can think of at least a couple of people who could be like fun being people to sort of mix in there. Like we could get um played Nomi Marks on Sense8, who is a trans actress. That would be really cool. Dye her hair red. I'm sure she'd be down for it. There's lots of people who could take that spot. I don't know if you have any favorites, Matt.
I don't have any actors to play it. I mean, because this is my opinion. When I'm watching the show, I did enjoy the first episodes. It was interesting. My complaint of the show was that, and this is from a writing standpoint, it wasn't as dark as the Batwoman I expected to be in some aspects, and there was some parts of plot felt a bit janky, a little bit. And her, I don't know if it's her acting or whatever, but she didn't really portray someone. I'm not trying to say inauthentic. I swear, she
Mhm.
didn't give off a demeanor of someone who. The best way to describe it is like okay, let me think of an actor. It's like Denzel Washington pretending to be a Caribbean. It wouldn't work. He's a great actor, but he can't pull that off, and you just
Right.
sense that. And that's what I feel about her. She, I don't, she could be I don't know if she is LGBT in real life, but she
She
doesn't really.
is.
She is. And I don't know. It's like she was. There was a lot of them. There was a couple of scenes where she should have been emotional, but she came off as a badass, and it's like it's okay to be. It was like I don't know if it was a writing or whatever situation. Like there was a scene where she's supposed to be confronted by her friend and girlfriend, but she's like totally blowed him off like a Bruce Wayne move. But like you're not Bruce Wayne, you
Mm.
know.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, but and a lot of people gave the same criticism to her that she wasn't like in some scenes or roles that she didn't. I don't know. I don't have any actors in mind, but I know some of the criticism towards her. And my opinion was, oh, she'll just grow into the role because that's why I constantly believe. That same thing with Supergirl. She's a great actress, the girl plays Supergirl, and she grew
Right.
into that role. It's definitely her now. She's all her. She's great. So that's how I look at it. I was very more patient with it, but a lot more people were a lot more critical at the time. So
Yep. I mean, it is what it is. We'll probably never really know the full story unless somebody leaks something.
oh god, yeah, someone's gonna I have the secret transcript.
No,
But
no, no.
you did mention she was in Orange and the New Black for half a season.
Basically, a couple episodes of season. Please correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. 3. She was a love interest, and she was here, and she was gone, and like we've never heard from her again.
Yeah, I think I think that maybe, and I'm saying by your theory a little bit more, is that maybe the grueling television plus the injury situation was not for her.
Yeah.
Like TV is very grueling because you got to be there every day. I mean, as somebody who watches wrestling, you have
Yeah.
to be at the show performing every week, every time live. That can be very grueling. So
Yeah, I mean, and if anybody, and I don't think anybody who listens to this podcast is, but something that I learned working on some union papers, if you work for a soap opera, you are taping episodes the day before they air. So you
holy
gotta,
snap!
yeah, you gotta learn your lines quick. You gotta get your pacing and your spatial movements and like where you're going to move through the scene. You gotta get that down fast. You only have so much time to get that done. So I mean, most scripted television that comes out once a week is not like that. It's not quite so, you know, dying inside, but it is an incredibly grueling. It's grueling in a different way. Movies, you work long hours for like 3 4 months, maybe. You come back for reshoots, or if you're the lead in a movie, maybe you're taking 6 months to 9 months to work, but then you're done. Maybe it's like you are working just about that same schedule, 9 months, but you're doing it every year if you work on a weekly show that gets renewed. So it's a lot of work. It can be incredibly exhausting. Your days are shorter, but you're coming in every single day, and that's a
Yeah,
lot,
that is
especially
a
for a
lot.
show like this.
And that format reminds me of this is again just a little tidbit from wrestling. There's a wrestling program on the internet called NWA Power. Obviously, coronavirus may stop, but what they've done is they record a season, about 6 or 7 shows worth in one sitting because it's a taped show similar to soap opera. So they would film it all in one sitting. So you can imagine doing all the wrestling things and the talking and all that stuff there in front of live people perfectly, and then putting it on the internet. So I could definitely understand how grueling that is because again I watch wrestling and pitching it as a soap opera and then pitching that as doing a television show because I know nowadays because of Netflix and Hulu, other TV shows would rather they could just bomb you like we do a whole tape 3 months, get a season done if lucky, and then go home and wait till we get renewed or something. But
Right.
yeah, so my heart's out to anyone who does this grueling profession. You guys are professionals doing the best you can. Don't be oh, I forgot his name. Don't be Christian Bale's light guy. That's probably the worst shot to ever be. Yeah, so don't be him. Because it's effing distracting.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on to the most important thing of all time. And this is a random topic. How is Netflix going to survive with everyone binge watching everything? Is Netflix gonna lose their subscribers? That's a question I need to know. Like, how much stuff people been watching?
Here's the thing, though. I don't think Netflix is going to lose. I think if anything, Netflix is like the big winner because now no one has anything to do but to go through like people are going through Netflix shows like they go through tissues. Like you get through a show, then the new show comes out, and you're watching. Like I'm getting through my list real fast of just like finally I haven't watched Lucifer in a while, but I'm in the middle of like season 3 now.
Oh wow!
Like, I know, like people are like getting through. So if anything, I think Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime are probably like raking in the freaking money. I think the people who need to be most worried again are the movie people because if you can't see a movie in the theaters, then you don't make money.
True, and as well as some services, as you mentioned, Universal. I don't really use traditional TV. I have Sling TV. They allow, in some of the services, allow rentals for movies that are out. Like, here's a little spoiler. Myself and the love of my life, Cassie, we are Scooby. We love Hanna-Barbera cartoons. We love Scooby Doo. Scoop is out. We're thinking about paying the $10 on Sling just to watch it for one night.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about it because we can't watch it in theaters. And speaking of Scooby Doo, I'm watching Scooby Doo's Mission Incorporated. I'm like episode 22 out of 2 seasons of watching it. So yeah, Netflix, I'm just bumping it through. I'm just going like crazy. Yeah. And I've watched almost every critical movie that almost Sarah's recommended here. I've seen Dallas Buyer Club, and I'm a little creeped out by it.
Yeah, Dallas Buyer Club people are always like, oh my god, Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto were so brave. And I'm like, hey, you know what would have been braver? Hiring actual gay people.
That wasn't a movie filmed in the late 90s, early 90s?
Dallas Buyers Club?
Yeah.
Buddy, that was like the late 2000s.
Holy snap. God,
right?
that film direction make it look like a 90s movie. That's why.
I mean, that's what they were going for, but no, let me just make sure that I'm not high right now.
Yeah, because that looks like, I'm not to correct
you. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was wrong. This movie's from 2013.
Holy snap. Shout out to the directors and editors. Y'all tricked me. I thought, looking at it, this looks like a 90s movie. I thought it was a 90s.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, they could have did that. Come on, it's 2010s, y'all. Get woke. But Matthew McConaughey is Matthew McConaughey. You can't. No one can say no to Matthew McConaughey, and I think that's a real thing. Not to say he is that person, but you can't say no to Matthew McConaughey. I'm gonna be in this movie. I'm like, okay, it's Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
Hey. Oh, and I've seen The Master. Joaquin Phoenix is a treasure, and I think we should give him more movies. I don't know what's wrong with this country. We need to give him more movies. He is a damn treasure.
Yeah, no, he's great. Him, I have no problem with. McConaughey, I have been watching True Detective, or I've watched all the 3 seasons of True Detective on HBO now. And like, I don't usually like I don't have a problem with Matthew McConaughey, but I don't like actively seek out the stuff he does. Like, I'm just like, he's there, and it's fine.
I think that's a special power. Like, you don't want, like, why are you here, Matthew McConaughey? I'm here to be on a TV show.
You're just like, huh, all right. But he was great. He was season 1 is with him and Woody Harrelson, and they're great.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I actually want Woody Harrelson's is to me another like slightly underappreciated actor. He's been solid his whole career.
Yeah, no, he in that show is great, but also terrifying. And you're just a little bit like, the fuck is happening on this show? So there's that. No, believe me. And there's that. And then there's season 2 was Colin Firth.
Sean Penn and Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, not Sean Penn. It was Colin Farrell, Rachel McAdams, and what's his name? Vince Vaughn.
Okay,
Vince Vaughn. And it was fine. I don't recommend it. Like, if you're gonna watch True Detective, I think we're so off topic. If you're gonna watch True Detective, watch seasons 2, then 1, then 3, or 2, then 3, then 1. But start with 2 because it gets better after 2 and before 2. Like 2 is very much like an LA noir sort of like CD underground thing, and the other 2 are like straight up like fucked up murder mysteries, and so you're like, ooh, scary.
That part that's my jam, so I would like it. I just need to get that HBO Now. Hook me up. Boom.
Yeah. I mean, it's not my account, so haha.
America's great.
Season 3 is Mahershala Ali, and he's wonderful. So,
God, yeah. That's the one he plays. He solves entire case through his entire livelihood, like him as a young man, him older, the in betweens. Yeah. God, I heard so many good reviews about that.
Oh, it's so good. It's such good. Okay, anyway,
back to the real stuff.
Have recommendations for viewing shit.
Yeah.
Why don't we give you our recommendations for reading shit?
Okay. Well, I recommend you read True. Oh wait, that's not a book. Dang it! You guys failed at me, HBO. No, my recommendation this month is going to be For Goodness Sake Volume 1 by. I'm not gonna butcher her name. I'm not gonna butcher her name.
You're gonna have to.
K. All right, K. Lynn Smith, and and I'm the reason why I say Lynn. I hope it's not line because it's Lynn, and I'm a butcher in the English language, thinking you have to pronounce a double N when you hear it. So it's
Hmm.
like n sound. But anyway, Miss Smith is a fantastic artist. She had a series she worked on called Pume. It's a webcomic. I met her at New York Comic Con last year. I was perusing her books and she gave me her business card and she said, I have a Kickstarter coming soon for this book, oh goodness sake. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to do some research on who you are. Done the research. That's that part done. I looked up your art style. I like it. Looks good. And I'm like, all right, got this book. So I gave you the money and the book came in the mail roughly 3 weeks ago. And I got the book. I'm like, hooray! She mailed it on time and gave me some free stickers, which is nice. Thank you for the stickers. And this book is
Them
about a
thingies.
guy who got transformed into a demon for being a complete douchebag and meets a hippie who's helping him be human and learn about being alive. And it's actually well done from an artistic and writing standpoint. It feels very realistic. She has a great demand of the story and character. The panels are spaced enough where you see the details of her art with the great facial expressions to the background to even like you can even see the main. I'm not gonna spoil the names. The main character, the demon, the main character. You see him. You can see him like drinking coffee or smoking. Just how he's talking in some panels. You know he's rolling his eyes because the panel fits
Hmm.
right there, so you see the entire expression on his face. She has a great demand to teach when understanding that. So I give her all credit for it. And I hope when I see her in the future, I could buy the rest of her series and get her to sign this. It's a lovely, lovely series.
Wow. Okay, that is some very glowing reviews. I
Yeah,
dig
and I
it.
don't, and remember, I'm the shit talker. I don't even give anyone good reviews.
Yeah, you hear like meh.
Yeah.
Meh. Okay, so I'm going to recommend a book that I got as an advanced reader's copy, so take that with a grain of salt or whatever. Obviously, not paid to give it a good review, but I'm going to give it one anyway because I liked it. It's called Something is Killing the Children. I have to butcher this person's name too. It's by James Tynion the Fourth, which is a name, and illustrated by Weatherer Deldera.
Oh wait, James Tinian? Oh, he works at DC. I know of him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's done some Batman stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, Weather Deladera um has also worked on some Batman stuff. Um, they have done House of Mystery, which is interesting. Um, so basically, like, how to explain what's happening in Something is Killing Children? Well, for first off, something is killing the children in a small town. Um, and basically, the story starts with this kid James, whose friends are slaughtered, and I do mean like slaughtered in the forest, like just very gruesomely, and he survives, and so basically everyone thinks he did it. But then this woman named Erica Slaughter comes to town, and she talks to her stuffed octopus, which I know, not like an octopus that was alive and is stuffed like a stuffed animal in the shape of an octopus. Um, she comes and she promises that she's going to take care of it, and the first volume deals with James's case and a small town man whose sister, I believe, or daughter. It's been a minute. Sorry, guys. Basically, somebody he loved, a little girl, was taken and killed by this monster. And he believes that Erica is responsible. And it's got a very. I keep trying to think of how to describe, and I keep seeing images in my head of how I want to describe what the art looks like, but like I can't quite lock into like what it reminds me of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I hate when that happens. Like, come on, brain, we can do this. And my brain is like, I got nothing for you, babe. And I'm like, crap. But basically, it very much looks like a sort of like Gorillaz style, if you know the musical group
Oh yeah, I
Gorillaz.
love that. It's half of Blur and half of the other artist name. Forgot his name, but yeah, love that group.
Yeah, that's sort of like the proportions are technically correct, but like sort of very blocky for the fingers, and the eyes are very big, and like sort of the way the faces are composed reminds me sort of that Gorilla's art. And honestly, like usually that would turn me off because I'm not a big like if you hyper stylize certain things, like it's just not gonna do it for me. But every so often, like something like this or a serious house on serious earth, like that'll get me. Like it just has to sort of click with my lizard brain. Like, ooh, those are some pretty lines, even though they don't look like what they're supposed to look like. So it's a really fascinating book. It's dark, it's bloody. It's probably not for the faint of heart. Though I don't, as because I'm very skewed. I was reading it, I'm like, this is fine. This is fine. Like, whatever, this is cool, whatever. And people will significantly tell me, like, that's disgusting, that's scary, I don't want to read that, that sounds awful. I'm like, oh right. I'm desensitized now.
Yes, we've become. But what pub is this? A self-published or is it published by? Uh,
Let me look that up because it's definitely not a self pub. It's from Boom Studios.
Boom. Interesting. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So
Because for a sec there, this sounded like, and not to crap on Boom Studios, it sounded like something that could be under Image or one of my favorite publishers gone away, Vertigo. God, I can't believe they let Vertigo die.
I know. Deep breaths, buddy. Deep breaths.
All right, just take the pills that the doctor said. Anyway, but seriously, yeah, it sounds like something an Image would be under or a Dark Horse. But I'm glad Boom has this because Boom has been doing pretty well with Lumberjanes and Giant Days. They've been slowly building up, and I always respected them because I met the publisher, Rich. S. Rich. He's great. But yeah, I'm glad you guys have this book under your belt, and you got Tinian to be on you because he's okay. I mean, he's done some good Batman stuff here and there.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff. I mean, I ain't mad at it. You know what I mean? Like, we okay. I
Yeah.
believe he also did The Woods, which was also for Boom Studio, which I
I
didn't
thought that
read.
was someone else who did the Woods. I thought it was Pete Wood and someone else.
No, The Woods is James Tinian and Michael Dialanis.
Ah, yeah, the Woods. Yeah, that was okay. That's it. Okay, the
That
reason why,
Woods, that
yeah,
Woods, that Woods.
yeah, Woods. Yeah, I keep thinking every time I hear Woods, I think of Pete Wood, the artist and writer.
No, sir, no. Anyway, I recommend it if you can find it. It's coming out. No, it's already out. It's May 26th, so go get it. It's amazing. You'll love it. Enjoy.
Yeah, you probably most likely to wait because delivery has been so painful the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, you're telling me.
Yep. And I guess that wraps up on our amazing Corona Edition podcast. Ooh, thank you again for giving us a listen and sharing us with your airways. Be sure to follow us on all social media. Be sure to share this with your friends at podcast, your friends and family, and let us know what you think of this episode. Any topics you want to talk about? Should we delve deeper into the madness of Batwoman and cause some drama and make up stories about how this was the best thing ever happened? Or tell the truth, saying it's bad that someone decided to leave a show, but the show will survive. Be
Yep.
mature adults. Let's go being mature adults.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. This is Matthew and Sarah signing off. See you guys next time.
Later, Gators.